Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you to another session of our industry-oriented training on Python programming for AI and data analytics. Having built a strong foundation in Python and NumPy, today we begin exploring one of the most important libraries for data analysis, Pandas. This library has become an essential tool for data scientists, analysts, and AI professionals because of its ability to efficiently organize, manipulate, and analyze structured data. Today's lecture will introduce Pandas with a focus on its two core data structures, series and data frames. These structures make it easy to work with tabular data, perform data exploration, clean data sets, and prepare information for visualization and machine learning models. Understanding Pandas is a major milestone in your journey towards data analytics and artificial intelligence. The concepts you will learn today will serve as the foundation for upcoming topics such as data cleaning, exploratory data analysis, visualization, and predictive modeling. I encourage everyone to code along with today's demonstrations, explore with the examples, and actively participate throughout the session. Hands-on practice with Pandas will help you become comfortable with the real-world datasets. It is now my pleasure to welcome our esteemed mentor and speaker, Dr. Meher, Associate Professor at Bafari College of Engineering and Technology, Bathinda. Through his expertise in artificial intelligence, machine learning, computational sciences, and data analytics, he continues to guide learners with practical, industry oriented knowledge that bridges theory and real world applications. With great pleasure, I invite Dr. Mehchan to kindly lead us into today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, dear face, for nice introduction. I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just 1 minute. So, in the previous session, we discussed about NumPy, and today the library which we have, which we are going to cover, NumPy and SciPy. Okay, both the libraries are very useful, and along with the we covered yesterday. Uh, Symbolic SymPy, which is completely useful for symbolic mathematics. And sci-fi is very useful for all type of the scientific computing when we have very complex problem. NumPy, which we are using for operations based on the numbers. Okay, so these three libraries which we cover are very essential. But this entire workshop is for data science and AI. So when we deal with the data, any kind of the data, okay, so which you have stored in CSV or Excel file, and we are required to generate a data set. After that, we can apply all type of the operations which are essential. So to reduce the complexity, to apply all type of the statistical or other operations, just like for machine learning, Pandas is the most essential tool. Okay, so by using the Pandas library, along with I am going to share my screen so that we can start our session. Yes, and I hope you can see my desktop. Okay, so Panda is an open source Python library for data manipulation, cleaning, and analysis. It is built on the NumPy and provides two main data structure, which we are going to cover here. One is the series, which is in one dimensional, and the data frame, which is two dimensional. Okay, so okay, so these are the applications of these pandas we can use for data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, business analytics, finance, scientific computing, or any kind of the health data, any kind of the data we can have. Okay, so everywhere when we have the data set, so this library is very essential. Okay, so how we can start? As you know, uh, all the libraries which are essential for data analytic or the data science, when we installed Anaconda. So along with Anaconda, all these libraries are automatically installed, and we are not required to install again when we are using the Jupyter notebook. So all the essential libraries are there. Okay, these Jupyter notebook reduce our efforts. So just we are required to import these libraries. We are starting import pandas as PD. So as we discussed in the previous sessions, all the libraries have their own abbreviations. So we always use only the abbreviations. Just you can see pandas as PD, so we will use PD only, and import numpy as np. For numpy library we will use only np. Okay, so these two libraries are essential because when we have the data set, okay, to create the data frame we use pd, and if we need some arrays or any kind of the operations which are based on numpy we can use. Okay, so if actually in the pandas we have the library and to manage the data set. So data set can have one dimensional, two dimensional, or parametric, non parametric, their head name, a number of rows, entries, many things are there. Okay, so main role of the panda is just to create the data frame, and other thing which we need to manage numpy is there. Okay, so first we have to run these two statement to import these both libraries pandas and numpy. Okay, so now if you want to check the version, this statement we have already used in the previous session. To check the version of any library you can use print pd dot underscore version underscore. So this will check the version of pandas. If you want to check the version of and numpy, then you will use here np. Okay, so this is the version of numpy. Now there are two parts. One is series. Okay, so how we can create the series by using pandas. Okay, so here you can see marks is equal to pd dot series. So this is the list 85 comma 90 comma 78 comma 92. So this will generate the series and store inside marks. When you will execute, this will print. Okay, so by default, as we know, the index will start from zeros. So this is the one series, and you can see these are the index. Okay, similarly, if you want to create the data frame, and you know data frame is always two dimensional. Okay, so here we are using dictionary, and in the previous session we have already discussed about the types of the data set. Okay, so when we are using the dictionary, there are two parts. One is key and other is value. Okay, so here this is the way how to write, how to use dictionary. This is the key, and on the right hand side this is the value. Okay, value can be single, numeric, or string, list, anything. So this is the list of the names: Aman, Priya, Karan. These three names are there. Okay, then we have the second key, which is age. Okay, then colon, and this is again the list of the numbers which are age 20, 21, 22. And the last we have is the key marks, and these are the values. Okay, there are three name of the persons or the student: Aman, Priya, Karan. So these are the marks, they are respective. Okay, so when you will use pd dot data frame, see this function very carefully. So this entire dictionary will store inside data. Okay, Now, using this information, we want to create a data frame, which is very quite easy. Just you will use here pd dot data frame. Okay, this function which we are using for the pd, and function name is a data frame. So this will create the data frame for this data which we have stored inside the variable data. Okay, so the data frame which will be generated, we will store in this variable df. And when you will press print this df, so control and enter. So this is the data frame. As you can see, in the first column, we have the name of the student. In the second, we can have the age. And in the third column, we have marks. So this is the way how you can create series and how you can create data frame. Okay. Sometimes if you have the data set in CSV file, or you can have the Excel file. So this part, read the files, we will cover in the coming session tomorrow. Okay. So in this session, we will use only the small data set. Okay. So in the CSV file or Excel file, JSON file, or we can have the SQL, we can have the data set from any URL. So these parts of the read the data set from the other cloud sources of the data in the coming session tomorrow. But here we are using only the small data set, how we can create the series and how we can create data frame, and then after the most important functions, just like filter or any kind of delete the number, access the element, and so on. There are many functions which we cover during this session. Okay, so if we have the data frame here, very small data set is there. So if you are using df dot info, okay, so I cut from this place. Okay, control and enter. So here, when you will use the df.info, this info variable will return us the information about the entire data set. Okay, how many rows are there, how many columns are there, how many variables are there, everything. So here you can see name, age, marks. There are three head. Three column is, these are the name of the head each. Okay, so and three columns are there. Okay, so here now you can see range index. So range index we have here are three entries. As you can see, this is the first entry. uh, okay, 0 to 2. Okay, this is the first entry, then 1 and 2. So when we talk about the entries, means the number of the rows. So there are three rows. Okay, and index is from 0 to 2. And then after, you can see here the total column are 3. Okay, so this is the information about the data set. So the first column will be index, then we have the column name. Okay, then we have the whether there is any null or no null cell. Okay, you can see no null. So we have there is no any empty shell. So you can see the value of each variable we have equal 333. It means there is no empty shell. Okay, and last column is data type. So the name contain only the object. Okay, and second and third we have the integers. So this is the entire information. Just by using info, you can access this information. Okay, and if I am using these functions, df.shape, df.column, data types. Okay, control and enter. So when you are using shape function, so shape means the size. Okay, number of rows and number of columns. You can see 3 by 3. Okay, so and then we have the columns. So these columns will return only the head name. Okay, head name is this value, name, age, marks. These are the head names. Okay, name, age, and marks. Okay, and the last one, which is data type. Okay, so this will return the types of the data of which type of the data is inside there in name, and data type in age, data type in marks. So here you can see names are object, age are integer, marks are integer. Okay, so these are the why we need these functions. So actually when you have the large data set inside any CSV file or Excel file, or sometimes we are using the text file also. So we are not required to open the file and check the entire information. So just what you will do, we are required to read the file by using this statement. Okay, so these operations are very useful, and actually when we have applied already multiple operations. Okay, so sometimes in between we are required to check the name of the head or the other information, or information about any specific variable. So this function which we are using here will help you, okay, without any loss of time. So we are required to use all these functions which are associated with the data frame. And pandas is very clever animal, and this library is also very smart. Okay, so all the operations which you will apply, this will return the information, specific information, or the set information very frequently, and all type of uh, whether your data is very complex. Okay, so this library make all the operations quite easy, and less memory is used to apply all these operations. So this is the beauty of these pandas. Okay, sometimes someone if asked why we are using the pandas. Okay, so pandas is very intelligent library based on the Python, which operate all type of the operations. Okay, which are required to create the data frame, and after that we will apply all these operations. Okay, so here you can see we have describe function. Okay, df dot describe. Again, this is very uh, simple function, but this will return many information about the entire data set. Whether you have the data set contain 1000 entries, whether these are 10,000 entries, whether you have 50,000 entries, whether you have 1 lakh entries, and number of columns or the head, you can have 5, 10, 15, 25, etc. Okay, so by using this describe, but here we have very small data set. Just you should have the understanding about all these functions how we are using. So when you have the understanding, when you will use the large data set, so there will be no any kind of the complexity to understand. Okay, you can easily apply all these operations which we are using here. Okay, so see here, control and enter. By using you can see here describe include all variable. So you can see this is the count. Okay, count means how many entries are there. So for each variable we have 3 entries. Then unique value. So here in name we have 3 unique value, and age and marks don't have any unique value. No, this is not the unique. Okay, top means on the top we have is Aman, but the other column have we have numeric. So that's why we have here is Nan. Okay, frequent frequency. Okay, you can see the frequency in each address space we have is 1, and these are not a number. But this is the static, because we want to get the statical summary. So this is important for us. Okay, this value and this value. Okay, so You can see by using the describe, we have the mean, STD, mean, standard deviation, minimum value, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and maximum value. So these are used for only on numerical values. If I remove this part, okay, actually control and enter. Yes, this is now perfect. Okay, so actually, when you will apply the, you want to get the static summary, or for that you are using describe, or in other words, we can say also the descriptive static. So this is the descriptive static. Okay, count. Then we have the mean, STD, minimum value, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and maximum value in age and also in the marks. So this information we can get by using the very simple function describe. Okay, so here is also there is one more example. Here we are using some more operations, just like we are getting here the data frame without storing the value. Here we are using direct PD dot data frame, and here we are using the dictionary. You can see name, math, physics, chemistry. Okay, so then after we have apply at space some basic operations, just like if I will execute control and enter. Yes, you can see now. Okay, so here you can see first row, second, third, and fourth. Okay, first, second, third, and fourth. These are because of this value. Okay, then we get the total students. The actually the information is stored inside students. Okay, then we want to get the total students, math, physics, chemistry. Okay, sum x is 1, so this will return the sum of this value. Okay, so this is 265. The sum of these marks we have is 275. Then current 217. Then some of these are 273. And if you want to get the percentage, okay, percentage of the marks, what you will do? Students, okay, total divided by 3. Total upon 3. Okay. Uh, this is the okay percentage. These are the marks obtained, and we divide by 3. Okay. Actually, we don't have the total marks. Only by using this one, they are getting. Okay. So divide by 3 each. There are 3 subject. Okay. So these are the values. And actually, this is the average marks in the subject. Okay. We are dividing here by 3. These are the total marks. Okay, and if you will divide this value by 3, so this is the average marks. Okay, in each subject. So this is the average marks of each subject of the students. So if you want to convert grade, okay, here we apply the grade. So according to these marks, we can give the grade, or either you can convert these marks in the percentage. Okay, so for that, suppose that total marks we have is 300. Each subject of marks are 300. Okay, actually this is the correct formula. Then you will multiply it by 100. Got it? So control and enter, you will have the same value. The values are same. So these are the percentage. Okay. So student, if you want to get the grade, so you can apply the conditions. Okay, for a grade, we have discussed about the lambda function. Okay, so the student percentage, then apply lambda. Lambda function is there, you can apply without defining it. So a grade if marks are greater than 90, S B if X is greater than 75, else C. So we divide in the three grades. So the marks if greater than 90, then A. If marks are less than 90 but greater than 75, then grade B, or otherwise grade C. So according to these conditions which we apply for by using the lambda function, we have grade of Aman, Priya, Aman, Riya, Karan, Simran. You can see here in the last column B, A, C, A. Okay, these are the grade of this student. So in this way, we can apply this operation by using the data frame, and you can see there is number one, easy to apply to create the data frame, and after that, if you will apply any kind of the operation, these are very simple to use for a series as well as for the data frame. So these are the some two examples with the introduction. Okay, and these are the series versus data frame. So dimensions in the series, we have one dimension and data frame have two, and structure, this is the single column and these are the row and columns are there. Okay, so these are the some features of the pandas: fast and efficient, easy filtering and sorting, handle missing values, read, write, CSV file, Excel file, JSON file, and there are some other just like JSON file also, JSON text file also we can read and write by using pandas. And if you have the data set on any URL, from that also we can access here. Okay, so essential for AI, machine learning and data science. So if you are you want to work on in this domain for AI, machine learning or data science, you are need to study. So then this panda, without panda we are not able to work on any kind, to develop any kind of the model, just like prediction model, recommendation model, automation, etc. So all these are completely based on by using the pandas. Okay, so this is about the summary of the pandas. Here we are going to apply some more functions. So dear participant, this is the basic introduction about the pandas. Actually, what is panda? Okay, now if you have any question related to this, you can ask from me. Otherwise, there are so many operations which we are going to cover for the series as well as for dictionary. So if you have any question related to this introduction part, please you can feel free to ask from me, so that after that we can cover other formulas. Anyone, please. Any doubt related to this in data frame and the series? Yes, please. No? Okay. Thank you. So now, in this file, we are going to cover now very interesting functions. Okay. So here we have the example. Create series with custom index. Okay, series with custom index. By default, you know the index are 0, 1, 2, 3. But sometimes if you are required to customize the index, we can do just like we have the marks is equal to pd dot series, pd dot series. So the series is the function to create the series. And suppose that we have three values, just like I have 85, then comma, 90, comma, 78. So these are three values I have. But if I will execute, then by default the index will be, by default the index of these will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. uh, Print marks. See, the index are 0, 1, 2. But if I want to customize this index, what I will do, I will write here index is equal to, then I will store here. Okay, suppose that first is the marks of the subject mathematics. First is the are the marks of mathematics. Okay, and the second we have physics, and the third we have chemistry. Okay, third we have chemistry. Got it? So when I will execute now, you can see in the place of 0, 1, 0, 1, 2. Now I have the index is mathematics, physics, chemistry. Okay. Or sometimes if you want to use any other index, you can do. So this upon your choice, which type of the index you want to assign here. Okay. So in this way, you can customize the values at the place of mathematics, physics, chemistry. You can assign any value according to your choice. Okay. And then after sometimes you can create also the dictionary, sorry, this series by using dictionary. Okay, so this is the one more example here. Example, uh, create the dictionary, sorry, create the series using dictionary. Okay, using dictionary. So this is also very simple. What you will do in the dictionary, these are the student is equal to, uh, in the dictionary, first we will use here key. Okay, I'm using Aman. Aman is the name, and then its value, suppose it 90 marks. Okay, then I have the second key, Ria. Second key is Ria. Okay, and value is 50. Then third one, I can have Karan. Okay, we can use here Karan, and then marks are, suppose that 88. Okay, so this is the student variable, and we store the information using dictionary. Okay, now marks is equal to pd dot series, pd dot series. Okay, s will be in the uppercase, series, and here you will pass the variable where you have stored the information, student. Okay, and then print, then you will print marks, control and enter. Okay, so you can see here the index are not 0, 1, 2, only the keys will be the index. Okay, the keys will be the index, and the other column have the values. So in this way also you can use the dictionary to store the values. Okay. So here, sometimes we are required to create the say you can say create the series from the scalar. Okay, if we have the scalar value, and by using the scalar we can create the series, just like we have the example, create the series using scalar. Okay, so this is again a very simple example here. Suppose that I'm using s is equal to pd dot series. Okay, s will be in the uppercase when you will create the series. And suppose that this is one of the scalar value, and then index is equal to index is equal to you can use here, just like I'm using a, then I have b, comma c, and then comma d, and after that we will print s, print s c. So when I will execute control and s, okay, so this is the scalar value. So this value will be assigned to each index whatever you have at the place. Okay, so very simple example is there. But if you want to use this value, dictionary key, then you will use in this way. But if you want to create a series by using the scalar value, so in this way you can create. Sorry, yes. Then we have the series attribute. Okay, so what are the meaning of attribute? See, if you want to print here uh, attributes, hash series attributes. Okay, so what are the purpose of the using attributes? Just like sometimes we are required to display the metadata is index, values, shape, size, dimension, data type. So we can do just like we have the marks. Okay, here we have the marks. We are using this data set. Okay, this is series. So here first we have is the print marks dot index, control and enter. So all the index are there, aman, ria, karan, these are the index. Then you can have one more, print marks, then dot, you can have the values. So this will return only the values, control and enter. So these are the values. Then again you can have print marks, okay, then dot shape, shape function is there, okay, control and enter. So there are three entries for marks. You can see there are three entries. Okay, you can use here also one more function. As you tried all these functions in numpy, okay, these are the same, okay, which we are using in the pandas. So some of the functions are common which we are using just like in numpy, pandas, and some common function will be there in scipy. Okay, so in that case the syntax will remain same. But as soon as you will try these basic libraries, just like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly, and Matplotlib. Okay, SciPy, and along with we have SymPy, symbolic mathematics. Okay, so some of the syntax or the functions will be similar type or common. Okay, uh, so these functions we have already used, but here we are using for series. Okay, so then we have the marks dot. Next we have is the n dimension. Okay, n dimension, number of the dimension, only one, you can see one dimension. Okay, if there is a 2D array, rows and columns are there, then this will be 2D. And if you want to check the data type, last one we have is the data type. So the function is d type. The function is d type. Control and enter. So these are integer. The values which we have is integer. Okay, so these are the attributes. Then after the most important part again uh, is we use in the NumPy how we can assess slicing. So the same functions are also there in series, and we can use it. Okay, so the use is a similar type. I will present only few examples, not all. There are various examples I insert here. Okay, so at the end I will provide you the complete list of the examples. Some of the example I will try to present here which are essential, and the other partially you will cover yourself. Okay, so the syntax of the code with respect to all the functions which we are required to use are there. So just you are required to play with the code, and if you will spend a few just like 1 hour on both the file. Actually I have created here two files. One is for the series, and other file is for data frame. Okay, so there are about approximately 50 examples in each file. Okay, so all the 100 examples are not possible to cover here, but you have the idea how you can use. Okay, some of the operations as I told you that will be similar to as we use NumPy. So here if you want to assess any element, assess element. Okay, so this is quite simple. Just like if you want to use here parent, here is marks. Okay, here is marks variable, and then you are using here aman. Aman. Okay, so when you will enter, here is error, control and enter. Okay, these are the marks of aman. Okay, because this is the key, we are using here only key, so the value will be returned there. Okay, here the marks of aman 90. So we these are the keys in the first column where you have stored the data set. So you can see that the operations are quite easy to apply here. So everything which you want to assess will return immediately. If you are using just like print, and you can use the index also, marks. Okay, then 0, control and enter. Print marks with the data frame. Okay, use ILOC. Mm, okay. In this way, we are not able to use here. This way will be applicable only in data frame. Okay. Here we will use only the key. But if you are using Control Z, okay, Control and Enter. Yes. So for by using the zero is also we have 90, but there is a one warning message. Okay, this is the warning message. If you will read the future this is the related to future warning. Okay, this is the future warning, and series underscore get in items treat keys key is treating keys is position is deprecated, and in the future version integer keys will always be treated as a labels. Okay, so if you want to, because there are several type of the updates are there, and in the future we have to update, just like we are required to use only labels. Okay, so this is the future warning. So this is the way how you can use only by using the index in the data frame for consistent solution. Okay, or to print the value. So if you want to avoid this, we have the command so that warning we can avoid. So if this type of the warnings are there, please don't worry about about these warnings. Okay, so we have the slicing. We have the slicing. We use the slicing term in the previous session. Can you please let me know what is the meaning of slicing? The meaning of slicing? Anyone, please?
So slicing means cutting, taking a small piece out of the
Yes,
main
yes, yes.
cell.
Yeah, small part. Okay. So here we have the marks, and we are taking here from 0 and colon 2. 0 colon 2. Control and enter. Okay, so this is the zero index and this is the one index. Okay, one less value. So index is starting from zero. Okay, 0 1 2 in Python, but when you are using here 0 colon 2, it means first two column are there. If you will start just like here is 1 and 2 means 3. Okay, control and enter, there will be only one value. Can you use here 3? If I try to use at this place 3, then you can see the next two values we have. These are the next two values. Okay, starting from this place, these two values. If you will start from 0 to 2, then we have this value. The index for this value is 0 for first row, and for second we have is 1, and for third we have is 2. Okay, but when you will apply at this place, see 0 to 2. Okay, so it means 0 means first row, and 1 means second, and 2 means third. But here when you will apply, this will take the one value less. Actually this is n plus 1. Okay, so one value less will be taken. So this will assess only the first two rows, Aman and Ria. These are first two rows. So we have already applied this operation. Okay, same thing is here when you will apply in Pandas. Sometimes we are required to update the value. Okay, we can do shift and enter if you want to update the value. Okay, so this is again very quite simple, just like I want to replace the marks of Aman. Marks of Aman are 90, and if I want to update, then what I do, I will use here marks. Marks is the data set where we have stored the values. Okay, then this is the name of Aman whose marks I want to update, and then we will use here equal sign 100, control and enter. Marks k is 2 times. Okay, so here when you will again print control C, here marks of Aman are 100, but here we have 90. So by using this statement, you will assess the element, okay, whose from this case. Okay, if you are using the RIA, then you will put the value which value you want to assign for RIA. So in this way, you can update the value. And if you want to add a new element, we can do add new element. Okay, add new element. We can add new element. Very simple to add new element. We have marks. Okay, and here is we want to add new element Simran, and its value we have is 91. Okay, and then print marks, control and enter. Marks. Sorry, here I use wrong bracket. Yeah, I have to use this one. Thank you, thank you. By mistake, I use it wrong. Yes, you can see Simran is there. Simran 91. So the new element will be in the last. Okay. If you want to delete, for delete, which function we can use? Please let me know which function we can use for delete. If you want to delete any value, then or any element, delete any element. Okay. So here you will use drop function. Okay, remember drop. We have used this drop function in the previous session while using numpy. Marks dot drop. Drop function is there, and here you will use the key. We wanted to drop the value of current. Suppose that. Okay, and then print marks, control and enter. Uh, marks current. Okay, okay.
I think, sir, again, brackets problem.
Marks dot drop.
Name mistake, capital K.
Just 1 minute.
Karan,
K is in uppercase. K is in uppercase. Okay, control and enter. Since Python is very sensitive, so here you can see K is in uppercase. So previously I use here K in lowercase. That's why we have error. So now you can see the current is not there. This element has been removed or deleted from the data set. Okay, so if you want to add, you can use this statement to add the element, and if you want to drop any element, then we have drop function. So this is the way how we can use drop function. Okay, so if you want to apply some mathematical operations also there, just like you can see, we have print marks. Okay, so if you want to give the grace to each one, 5 marks grace you have given to each. Control and enter. So 5 will be added to each element. Okay. Again, print. If you want to give the penalty, okay, penalty means sometimes teacher is angry and he cut the marks. Okay, so you can see if 2 marks has been decreased. If you want to multiply, okay, so all the arithmetic operation which you need we can apply. Okay, product 2. So you can see, and then you can use print. If you want to divide marks, divide by 5. Okay, so you can see, so divided by 5 we have this value, by multiplied we have this value, by subtracting we have this value, by adding 5 we have these values. Okay, so all the operations you can see very simple to apply here. And some of the operations which are related to the numpy, the while I which I have created here are we have, but the way of the operation are same. Just I will give you only one example here related to numpy. See the example numpy functions. Okay, numpy functions. So here you create the uh, data frame, but how we can use numpy also. So marks is the data frame. Okay, so inside marks we are using just like square root, square, log, all these you can apply. See, we have np dot sqrt. Sqrt we are using for the square root of marks. Okay, control and enter, n double time. Okay, my keyboard is very fast, so sometimes, yes, you can see square root of numbers. Okay, you can see here, these are the square root. Actual marks are, you can see, uh, these uh, these are the actual marks. Okay, where we store the marks? Yeah, this one. No, after that we have update this. So this will take the latest. Okay, we have the square root of these values. Yeah, these are the marks. Okay, so by taking the square root we have these values which you can see here. Okay, 100 we have this one, square root of 50 we have this value, and then we have the 91, square root of 91 we have is this value. Okay, so similarly you can apply other operations just like square, log, or any function, a mathematical function which you want to apply. So this is the series. Okay, and on series we are using uh, mathematical functions by using numpy. Okay, so in this way, because when we have the data frame and by using the data frame, we have to apply some statistical method, we have to apply uh, the functions from scipy. Sometimes we have to apply um, just like functions from symbolic mathematics. The library is SymPy. Okay, so just according to that, we will use the library and function. Okay, which function we are applying. So this is the only series. So the function which you will apply automatically, this will apply to each value, only on the values. Okay, so in this way we can apply all these libraries. After creating the data frame, you can apply all type of the statistical method also, just like some mean, median, maximum value, minimum value, STD. These operations we have already applied in the NumPy, and the same operation you can try for this data frame. Okay, so sorting, sort index, filtering, conditional statement also we have tried. So all these examples you will try yourself now, because the file will be available, and you must try, so there will be no any issue. And now we have one more interesting file. Also there is some you will cover only from the series first 30 example. Okay, try only first 30 example from series. Okay, and from the data frame, I'm opening the data frame so that in the minimum time I can cover all the content. I have created the file. Here is the file. Sorry, uh, data frame operations. Okay, so this file, this file, and this file, these three file I will share with you. Okay, so I started from first file, then we cover the series operation. So I can unclick, I want to open this file. Okay, enter. So in the just you need only the idea. Okay, you need only idea. So yes, this is the pandas data frame operation. Okay, so for this file, these two libraries are required. First we are required to create the data frame, and this example also we have already used in the other file. Okay, so this is the same content, and in the single line you can use also. Okay, if you want to create the data frame from list. Okay, if you have the list and you want to create the data frame, we can do. See here, this is the list. Here you can see A and 20, B and 20. So this is the first list, this is second list. So only very small data is there, only two lists are there. Two lists are in the list. Okay, and here we want to create data frame, data frame, and the data which we store inside data, we are using this one. You can see here. After that, we want to give the column names. Okay, so first is name and other is age. So name will be A and B, age will be 20 and 25. So this is the very simple way to write. Whenever you have the list, and in the list you can have one value, two value, three value, and in the list also you can have integer, you can have float value, you can have a string. So here these are the string and these are the numerical value. Okay, so the data is very simple, and when I will execute this shell, you can see. So by default, we have 0 and 1. If you want to customize them, also you can do by using index as we do in the previous example. Okay. So this is the data frame by using list. Also, we can have by using NumPy array. NumPy array. See here, array is equal to np dot arrange 12. There are 12 element. Okay, starting from 0 up to 11. Reshape 4 by 3. So there will be 4 rows and 3 column. So this array will be generated two-dimensional. Okay. Now we want to create this data set as a data frame. So for the data frame, we have to assign column name. Okay. So here you can see data frame. This is the array. Array means 4 by 3 reshape data set, which we store here in array. Then you can see these are the column names. Okay, columns is equal to A, B, C, and all these are the strings. So when you will execute, and yes, you can see these are the A, B, C, and the first column, second column, third column. Okay, so here the data which we are creating here randomly. arrange from 12. So the values will start from 0 to total number will be 12, but starting from 0, so it will go up to 11. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, these are 12 values which you can see here. Okay, and the first column you can see these are the index. Again, if you want to customize this index, we can do. And here now we have the attributes. So attribute means the same shape, column, index, data type, values. So here the data frame we have is df. This is the data frame. Okay, so all the operations we are applying on this data frame, which you can see here. So what this will do, if you are using print dot shape, then column will shape means size. Okay, columns, this will give the name of the head, index 0, 1, 2, 3, data type and the values. So when I will execute, see, this is the shape, this is the index of index means column head name. Okay, these are the column head name, and these are the index which start from 0, stop 4, and step 1. This is the range index. Okay, like in this way, stop 4 and step size 1, start from 0, like 0, 1, 2. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are starting from 0, and step size is 1, and stop at 4. So this is the fourth column, fourth row, sorry. Okay, so this is the range of entries. So this information we have something, and by using the index, okay, column we have this, then these are the index. Okay, and after that we have the data type. These are the data type, and values, df dot values, these are the values. Sorry, these are the values. Okay, so with respect to all these entries, we have these outputs. You can try one by one, so there will be no confusion when you will use. There is a head and a tail sample. Very interesting function when you have the very large data set. But here the data set which we have is in the small size. Okay. So this head and tail will help us to read. Suppose that you have about 10,000 entries. 10,000 entry means there are 10,000 rows are there. You want to understand about the data set and each head name. Head name means the column name. Okay, so if there are 15 column, the 15 column name will be there with some few rows. Okay, so I will try all these one by one so that there will be no confusion. So if I am using here head, so by default there will be first 5 rows and all the columns. Control and enter. So by default there are 5 rows will be there, but we have only 4 rows, so that's why we have all the rows are there. Okay, and each column name will be there. If you want to customize, just like I need only the 2 rows, you can give the value at this place 2. So only 2 rows are there, but column name will be all column name will be there. Okay, so here you can customize. If you want to access only 1 row, you can give the 1 row only. Sometimes but here the data set is very small. If you have the 10,000 entries and you are required first 100, so you can give the 100 values. Okay, so at this place you can customize. But this customization also we have some upper limit. You can assign about in the range of between 100 to 200. Okay, you cannot cross 150 approximately, but don't exact, I don't know. But there is a limitation. You can assess the first 100 row. You can assess approximately 150, but not more than 150 from 10,000. Okay. So by default, this will assess first 5 rows and all the column. Okay. If you are using here tail function, if you are using tail function, so the tail function will take 5 rows from the last, from bottom, 5 rows from last. Okay, control and enter. If I use here 2, see now, control and enter. So these are the last 2 rows. These are last 2 rows. See from this place. Okay, if you are using here 1, then it will take last row 10, 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, 11. This is the last row, but all the column. Okay, so in this way we can use these head and tail. I do control Z. Okay, so df dot sample, what this will do? 345. Okay, 012. Okay, so now we have 1 and 3. So this will take randomly only 2 rows. Now first and third, you can see. If I again execute, now we have 2 and third. Okay, so 2 means third and fourth. Each time this will assess randomly. 1 0, 1 2, 3 2, 2 1, 0 2, 3 0. Each time by randomly this will choose, this will select 2 rows. If you have large data set, large entries, then you can assign 100 rows. So each time when you will execute randomly, this will assess 100 rows, but rows will be random from the entire data set. Okay, so in this way you can try this example. Select the column. Okay, if you want to select any column, just like you can have here is name and marks. Okay, so also enter print df, control and enter. You can see there are 2 columns. Okay, first column Aman, Ria, second column marks. Here we assess only marks. Okay, so you can see here the marks. So what, which column you want to assess? So just you are required to use the key. If you are using name at this place, control and enter. So we assess only the first column, Aman and Ria. So just you are required to assess, if you want to assess any row, then you will use only the key from the data frame. Okay, so why this operation is required when you have the very large data set? Okay, suppose there are 15 variables are there. Okay, and all these 15 variable name will be the head name of the column. So when we want to study some statistical analysis, so some of the parameters, okay, are not essential, or not, there is no correlation between the other variables. So those variables which are not necessary, we can drop them. Okay, or we can assess only those variable which we are required. Okay, so sometimes from 15 we need only 3 or 4 variable. So in this way we can assess. Just like you can see the next example, select the multiple column. Here we select only one column. Here is the choice how we can select the multiple column. So just like if there are 15 variables are there, 15 column are there, you need only 3 and 5. So just what you will do, you will assign, you will use only their column name. Okay, first column and second column. So you can separate the name of the column by comma, and column name will be inside colon sign. Okay, so this is the way. Control and enter. Okay, so here we are using this name. So by default, in our choice we have only two rows and two column are there, and we use both name. So the entire data set we have. Okay, so there is example number 8, LOC. Okay, so LOC will help us row by label. Just like you can see here, we are using df LOC 0. LOC 0. Okay, 0 means first row only. 0 means first row. So in the first row, when you will see here, Aman and marks, this value. Aman marks 90. See here, Aman marks 90. Okay. If you are using here 1, then this is the second row values. Okay. So now you can see second row is Ria 85. Ria 85. Then we have ILOC. ILOC. Assess the row by integer position. Okay. So sometimes we have the integer position we can use. So here you can see if I am using ILOC, then one I am using here 1. Okay. 1 means here when I am using ILOC, this is the integer value, not the index. Okay. So here you can see, yes, Aman 90. ILOC, just 1 minute. Aman. There is some difference between LOC and ILOC. 1 minute, please. There is a electric cut in my at my place. Okay, so my system can be shut down anytime. 1 minute, please. Okay, so actually the difference between LOC and ILOC. When we are using the LOC, so this will use the row label or column label. And when we are using ILOC, in that case we have the row position and column position. Okay, so this is the only the syntax difference. So when we have the large data set and some indexes are there, then this will be better interpretation about the use of these. But here the data set we have is only very small. Okay, so not clear because here uh, the number of rows and the number of columns both are very small. Okay, so the use you can see here appears like a similar way, but there is a difference. But this difference can be clear when we have the large data set importing from CSV file or Excel file. Then this will be better clear. Okay, but here when you are using 0 and 1, so both operations are returning the same value. So here is the slice row. Okay, so here you will have the difference. Okay, so uh, ILOC, if you are using here 0 to 2, then control and enter. We have both the rows. If I am using here 0 to 1, then I have only one row. Okay, if you are using 1 and 2, 1 to 2. So this is the same type of the operation which we use for series. Okay. So slice we have already used in the previous sessions. And if you want to assess the specific cell, okay, if you want to assess some specific cell, just like we have 0, 0 is the index, okay, and marks, control and enter. See, this is the 0 means first column, and we want to assess the value of marks. So in the first column, in the first row, the value of marks is 90. So we want to assess this value. Okay, in the first row, the value of marks. Okay, so sometimes if you are required specific value, if you are using here 1, then this will return the value of second row of marks. Okay, so in this way we can use this operation. If you want to add a new column, we can add just like A and B. Okay, control and enter. So these are the grade. Okay, you can see in the last column. So grade we have added in the last column. You can add like by using this statement. And if you want to insert the column, then you can use here just like if you want to insert the column at a specific position, specified position. So here you will assign the value, whether you want to insert in the first position or the second position or the third position. In this way we can insert, just like we are adding this city column, and here we assign 1, and when I will enter, so we are entering this value at second column. Index is 1. Index is 1 means second column. So here we enter this information. So if you want to insert any column in specific position, in that case we have to use index. Or if you are not using index, then by default this will be in the last position. Okay. Sometimes if you want to rename the column, we can do. Just like here is the example column. We want to replace marks as a score. So in the place of marks, we have is the new name score. In place to, we have to make it, and rename function we have to use. So this will update the name of the column. So here you can see now score, and previously we have marks. Okay, in this way you can change the column name. And if you need to update any value, this is the same way as we do in the series, but here we have to specify the value, which value you want to update. So here this is the 0 position, and score we want to update. Okay, 0 means first row and score is 90. Okay, 0 means first row and score is 90. We want to update this value is 95. So when you will execute, you can see now in the new data set you have 95. If you want to drop the column, we have the drop function. We have the drop function. So here we want to drop grade. Axis is equal to 1. So we want to drop this entire column. If you want to drop row, then we have to use here 0. If you want to drop column, then we have to use 1. Okay, control and enter this column. Grade has been removed now. Filtering, if you wanted to apply some filter, you want to assess only the values of the score which are greater than 85. Okay, so df, then this is the value must be greater than 85. Only those values will appear which is greater than 85. Only there is one value which is greater than 85. Okay, if you want to use here uh, less than, control and enter, there is no value which is less than 85. If you are using here less than or equal to, there is only one score, that is 85. Okay, if you are using here 90, 95, then both will be there. And there is a sorting. So when you will use the sort here, we have the function just like you can see df dot sort underscore values. We want to sort with score. Okay, if you are using here ascending, false, so these will be in descending order. Control and enter, the marks are in descending order. If you make it true, okay, so these will be in ascending order. In ascending order you can see. And by default, if you are not using nothing, if you will delete this part, by default these value will be in ascending order. Okay, so sometimes you need ascending or descending, so you will use this function ascending true or false. So both you can check by using this function. All the operations are very quite simple. If you want to check the missing value, okay, if you want to check missing value, for that we have to use nan, np.nan. Okay, one score nan, and df is null. If there will be any empty, then this will check. And df dot fill now, if there is any empty value, okay, we have to fill that. So for that we have fill now function. Okay, so control and enter, you can see here false, 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 true, nan. Actually by using this one, you can see this value is true, because when you will print this data frame, df print df, so you can see here is no value. Because why this happen? This happened due to this one, because for this the score is nan, we assign here. Okay, so that's why here is nan. The other space you can see there is no empty value, but here we assign nan. That's why at this place we have true. Is null means this is true. Yeah, this value is empty. Other values are false, means there is no empty value. Okay, but here only this expression we have true, means this shell is empty, and here is nan. Okay, but if you want to fill now function, you want to use fill now, so by using the fill now function we assign at this place 0. So this value will be assigned to nan. See, control and enter. At this place we have nan, but here we have 0. Okay, so actually when you have the data set, and sometimes we have many values will be empty, but if the data set have the empty values, this will create a problem, because we are not able to apply the statistical operations or the method which are required for statistical analysis. So we are required the numerical value. Okay, so by using this filter function, we can assign some value. Okay, so there is several ways we can use the mean of the column, we can use the median of the column, we can take the average, or we can take other way, or just like using the mode, which value is maximum appearing frequency, number of frequency, having the maximum number of repetition. So by using this statistical operation, we can choose the value, and we can use the fill in function to fill the empty shell. So this is all about these operations which we are discussing now. So there are some more examples are there, just like duplicate value. Sometimes we have the duplicate entry. You can check info function is there. We have covered. So describe function we also has discussed. So some mean these are the similar function as we discussed. Okay, you can easily cover all these. Map, if there will be some new function which you have from. Okay, so by tomorrow, first we will discuss the problem, or the questions from your side which you have. Okay, we will discuss, and then after we will cover, because some of the part is also for the tomorrow session. So you can cover this file, what you can do. Okay, so you must try only the first 30 example from this file, and the first 30 example from the series file. Okay, so in these 60 examples, if you have any doubt, so first by tomorrow, in the coming sessions, we will cover, we will clear all doubts from your side which you have, and then after we will start to cover the content which are just like we can have, how we can import the file, and how we can read them, how we can apply the operations. Yes, we are in the coming sessions. By tomorrow, I can show you how you can upload this file. Okay, if you want to read this file in Colab, see, just 1 minute. There is one question from the participant. If you want to read this file by using the Colab, you can do. I can have, okay, see, just only 1 minute, only 1 minute. Okay, you can upload this file in your Google Drive, and also I have Colab notebook. This directory will be created when you will create any file. So just by starting Colab, new file, and you can see here, come to the more, and this is a Google Collaboratory. Okay, so here this is the Google Colab notebook we have at this place. Yes, so here you can apply all the operations which we have discussed right now. Also, if you want to upload here and then you want to read, see, you can upload the file. Okay, this file we cover now. I open the file, and after opening this file, the file will be available here. Okay, lecture 22. Okay, so lecture 22, where is the file? Yes, you can see this is the file. Okay, lecture 22. Just you are required to double click on it. The same file is open at a place, same information, there is no change. Okay, you can see. So just what you will do, you will start to click at this place. And in the beginning, this will connect with the cloud computing. The three dots are in orange color. This must be in green color. Within few seconds, yes, now you can see this is now in green, and RAM and disk will appear. Now you can apply all the operations, so you can easily execute all the files within a second. You have all the outputs. You can read the file, but we are not reading the file at this place. Okay, so there is another way to read the file in Google Colab. So you can apply all the operations quite easy after uploading the file here. You can see this will work same as we are using in the Jupyter notebook. Okay, so this is also Colab based on Jupyter notebook. Okay, so quite easy. Yes. So this is all about the today's session. Any more question? How you can remember the commands? This is only based on practice only. Okay, so actually the thing is we have various these are the not the command only. Remember that what you need to keep in mind. First thing, the library abbreviation. Okay, then the name of the functions which we are using. Okay, so when you are using any function and the syntax is similar as we are speaking, just like if you are using sine function, so we are speaking the sine function, so sine is there. If you are using cosine, cosine is there. If you are using mean, so mean function is there. So the name of the functions are same as we are speaking. For the some of the function have the abbreviations, just like standard deviation we are using std. So this is only the one you will try to use all these functions 2 3 times, so this will be automatically in your mind. So when you will use them without taking the help in the beginning, you need help. Okay, because all the functions and the syntax which we are using are new for you. So when you will try to use 2 times or 3 times, automatically all these will be in your mind and you can easily use them. Okay, only practice is there to remember these functions. But all the functions sometimes are not necessary because we are working in the different domain. Okay, so automatically the functions which are repeatedly you are using will be in your mind. Okay, so you are not required any efforts to remember them, but as soon as you are using, this will be automatically in your mind and you can use them. But understand the syntax only, how we are assessing the name, how we are using, and how we are using the filter, how we are creating the data frame, how we are creating the series, how we can import the file. So these operations are important. Okay, so as soon as you will try 1 time 2 time, you will fail 1 time, you will fail 2 time, you will fail 3 time, and in the fourth time 6 time, automatically all these things will be on your tips. Okay, so if you ask from me, be everything I have remember, no. Many things there are many functions are in my mind, but some functions are not in my mind. Okay, so when we start to use them, we have to read, we have to check. Okay, but along with the, I can make this question easy. I am sharing some cheat sheets. Okay, some I have shared and some will be there in the routine on based on each lecture. So these cheat sheet will give you the overview about the functions, how you can use them, what are the necessary function, how you can use them, how some of the examples to use them. Okay, so these cheat sheet will help you to remember and store all these file in your specific place, so that whenever you need, you can easily check all the functions very frequently. Okay, so overview about or is the library will be there. So cheat sheet about the data frame I will share with you just after this lecture. Okay. So don't worry to remember, but keep all the content, and cheat sheet will help you to remember all the functions. So if you will revise them 1 or 2 times a day and use them, so as soon as you will try to use them, these will be automatically on your tips. Okay, so don't worry about how we can remember all these functions. There are a lot of functions are there. So this is all about the today's session, and if you have more question, you can ask me. I will share with you cheat sheet. This is the only way, because when you will compare, just like there are some functions in the NumPy, and some of those functions are also in Pandas. Okay, see the operation first, how we are applying to assess the element. So if you want to assess the element, you can assess the matrix, any element from the matrix by using NumPy. You can assess the same element by using the Pandas. You can assess the element by using the SciPy. You can assess the same element by using SymPy. Okay, we have 4 libraries, but to assess one particular element is the same. Okay, but see, compare the syntax. What are the difference? So clear the difference among the libraries. This is very important part. Okay, any more question, please, dear participant? You ask very less questions. Okay, Professor Giridhar Babu Anam, how are you, sir? How are you? Balnoor Preet Kaur, okay, Balnoor Preet Kaur, you are not opening your mic. Okay, Aish Mohammed, Arshpreet Kaur, are you there or in silent mode? Arshdeep Singh, Komal Brad. Sometimes you should open your mic. So this is the 22nd lecture. Okay, mostly half half session, half series is complete of this workshop. Okay, but always I am speaking, you are not asking any question. Very less discussion. Yes, Arshdeep, everything is going well. Parneet Kaur, Chidra, hello. Okay, no one speaking. Dear Face, we can conclude the session.
Yes, sir. As we conclude today's session, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Meher Chand for today's insightful introduction to Pandas. Today's session marked an important step in our journey toward data analysis as we explored the fundamentals of series and data frames. We learned how Pandas enables us to organize, manage, and analyze structured data efficiently, an essential skill for data analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. I encourage everyone to revisit today's examples and practice creating and working with series and data frames using different datasets. A strong understanding of these fundamentals will make it easier to perform data cleaning, exploration, and analysis in the sessions ahead. I would also like to thank all participants for your active participation, thoughtful questions, and continued enthusiasm throughout today's session. Your engagement continues to make this training program interactive and enriching. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a wonderful night, and we look forward to seeing you in the next session.
Okay, thanks, dear participant. The files which I present today are available in your WhatsApp group. 3 files are there. You must try. And if there will be any question from your side, any doubt, we will cover tomorrow. Okay, but I hope you will do everything which are there in this file. Thank you very much.